Thank you, and welcome back to another episode of Streetpreneur Podcast, where we're taking your business to the street. Today, we have another fantastic episode today, and I have a special guest. She's a serial entrepreneur. She's a model that's been around the world, showcasing her talents to everyone in the industry. And today, I want to welcome Mrs. Daphane Warren to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here and just connect with you. So I'm just ready to speak.
Okay. Well, how do you feel?
I feel good. I can't complain. Being in Atlanta, coming from Chicago, it's been a great journey building out here. So I love connecting with creatives like you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But tell us a little bit about your backstory. How did it all begin? And, a little bit about your formal training. Did you have any formal training in modeling, or just how did it all begin for you? First of all, what was it like growing up in Chicago? Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Well, growing up in Chicago, it's a beautiful city. You had a lakefront. Yeah. You have an actual downtown. As well as we had the best food from every ethnicity. You had Mexican, Chinese, soul food, hot dogs, everything, like pizza. So the list goes on. That's one thing I do miss. Like,
what's the annual food festival they have every year?
Taste of Chicago.
Taste of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go. I haven't been able to attend yet.
Yeah, you gotta go. It's basically the taste. Right. You tasting every bit of Chicago. Yeah. And I just went. I brought my younger cousins out there this summer, so it was a good time. Right. Yeah.
So what part of Chicago did you grow up on?
West Side.
Shout out to West Side.
Know us.
Shout out to West Side of Chicago.
Yeah, but the West Side is, it's a party. It's love. It's life, and that's a lot that they don't show about Chicago. So I might not even sound like where I come from, but it's so much talent in Chicago when it comes to music, fashion, art, and that's why I do and present and move the way I do, just to represent where I come from, for sure.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, what inspired you to start your modeling career? Just kind of go back to, was it when you were growing up as a child, or were you looking at models in magazines, or what inspired you to go ahead and step out and let's try this modeling thing?
Yeah, what inspired me was, a lot of people say top model, but it was growing up watching the show for sure.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
You see the intimate part. So I love to shout out Tyra for doing that for a lot of girls, because we got to visually see the process of a photo shoot, a runway show, and that was my beginning stages of actually seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you always dream about, did you contact Tyra to be a guest on the show?
Well, she inspired me in a lot of ways when it came to runway and photography wise, filming and shooting and different concepts from different shows, because she would have so many different visual concepts. So I was like, oh, I want to do something like that. I got to shoot something like that. And that's where my creative spark was driven from that show, for the most part. Yeah.
So were your first modeling shoots here in Atlanta, or were they in Chicago?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about that first, your first assignment.
My first shoot was actually with a photographer that's from here. Mm-hmm. I hadn't met him before, but I had my cousin with me. Shout out Dante Uptown. His creative name is Upson Reflections.
Okay.
And we shot, and it was I would let it go back. It was a desolate area, and we got some dope shots for the first time, and we shot for 3 hours, and I had two different looks, and it was just my beginning stages of really taking it seriously. Yeah, shooting with an actual photographer. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how have some of the projects been for you here in Atlanta area? What are some of the projects you worked on? For campaigns.
Right. I did the Miguel Wilson fashion show. It was superb. The hotel downtown, I believe it's called the Georgian or something. It's like across from the Fox Theater.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking
And
about. Georgia Terrace.
Yeah.
Right. Georgia
Beautiful.
Terrace. Yeah,
It was in the ballroom. Beautiful scenery. Black excellence. It was like a black tie affair. And that was one of my best experiences, as well as the ATL Sustainable Show. Yeah. I was in the first ATL Sustainable fashion show here.
Oh, okay. And do you feel you have grown as a model based off your experiences?
Yes, for sure. My growth started once I started branching out outside of Chicago, especially going to New York Fashion Week, since stemming from 2019. My growth through there and maneuvering through shows, maneuvering through contacts with photographers and designers and models. So moving through New York Fashion Week, like my growth started to develop with the experience that stemmed from Chicago, basically.
Tell us about your about the selection process to get selected for that particular show. Was that something that you have to sign up for on their website, or how did you? I'm sure thousands of girls would like to be in Fashion Week. So how were you selected for that particular?
So a normal casting for something like that, you would have to, it'll be like a date and time and location, yes. Right. And it's like maybe 100, 200, 300 girls. You get a number and you walk, and in some cases they'll let you know then if you're in the show. Yeah. In some cases they'll like email you back if you're in the show or not. So it's just the uncertainty and the process of going through all of that, and then you go into the next casting that's after that. So
and how long before they contacted you?
It's like I said, in some shows they'll let you know then and there, like, okay, you're casted, we have come back for our fitting later today, or come back for our fitting tomorrow, or the show is tomorrow, come for the call time at 6 a.m. Okay. So in some cases it's like that. So
tell us about your new company. It's a boutique agency, boutique marketing agency. Called Better View Opportunity.
Yes.
And
so
tell us a little bit about what made you decide to make that transition from modeling to CEO of your own agency.
So, Better Every Opportunity stemmed from me doing sales and marketing. I actually did door-to-door for 2 years.
Door-to-door?
In Chicago, yes.
In the freezing cold?
Yes, yes. And I graduated from Hampton University. Yeah. And once I graduated, I was going to grad school, but I entered into sales and marketing, and I didn't know how much I would fall in love with communications and speaking with everyday people. It was the love of that. Right. And through that, I developed a team and a structure of sales and marketing, and that's where my business name, A Better Every Opportunity, came from, because that was my team name, BEO.
Okay.
So from there, I found different ways of like, okay, I love communications, but I want to reach out more because I know I'm meeting so many different businesses, I'm meeting so many different brands. Right. How can I help? And through that, my strengths through communications, I was like, some people need assistance with communications, public relations. They just need that extra hand. Right. And so
tell us, what are some of the services your agency would be offering? What do you specialize in?
Yeah, so my services are public relations, communications, and content creation.
Okay. And which one is your specialty?
Communications, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you find time to balance the projects you're going to be working on, from your personal projects to your business project? How are you going to find time to balance that?
My planner. My planner is my life. My planner is my life. Like it's in the car because I once I get an appointment or a set date for a show or just a meeting or a consultation, I list it in my planner. Like it's the power of writing it for me. I just
that's
live.
Your lifesaver.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you enjoy most about working with clients?
What I love most about really reaching out is really getting the maximum results for people,
right,
and building a relationship and getting to know what their business model is,
right,
and really being hands-on and one-on-one with, okay, this is your business model. What's your goal for this week? What's your goal for the end of the month?
Right.
Where do you see your business by the end of this year? So then we figure out, my goal is to figure out a structure and a strategy to attack that, basically, and make sure that it's accomplished at a set speed and time. Because, we plan for certain things, but sometimes it falls through. But it's just about having someone like in a place like me to just have that assistance and
be that voice.
Yeah, and monitoring and assisting you through that process to make sure that it's at least executed at a timely manner. Like, that's me.
Right. And how do you feel about paying your dues in the industry?
Yeah, I'm never.
A lot of people just want to get into the business and don't want to intern. They don't want to do any hands-on training. How important is paying your dues in the industry?
It's important. That's the beginning. That's the start. It's about being a service, because a lot of people, like you were saying, they want to get paid, but it's about building a relationship. It's about, how can I take your vision to the next level?
Yes.
And in exchange, I'm getting exposure. It doesn't have to be financial. It could be exposure. It can be a relationship. It can be something that we building off of whatever that project is. And that's how I maintain being in the industry. It's to the point right now I don't have to cast for a show, because I'm calling every designer that I worked with and I'm letting them know, hey, I'm going to be in New York. I would love to represent you again. And that's how it works for me, just really building that relationship. So that's what I would, encourage anyone in business to do, building relationships and being that bridge.
And being able to network.
Right.
The network is crucial.
Right.
Getting out networking.
Right.
And how do you use social media as far as branding your company and also for your clients?
I use social media to promote what I'm doing and what I represent.
Which platforms are you using or you plan on using? Do you use for your clients?
So client-wise, whatever they're using primarily, if that's Instagram, if that's Facebook, if that's TikTok, those are like the avenues, or if they just want to promote and push their website to get more traffic. So in turn with that, I'll come up with different strategies as far as promotion-wise, if that's visually, or if they want someone like me to be a brand ambassador, that's where like a structure and for content will come in place, where I will develop something for them to like push.
Right. Let's touch on brand ambassador.
Yeah.
Tell the public who might not know exactly what does that mean.
So a brand ambassador embodies whatever the product or the brand, and they really spread it everywhere, because you never know who is who.
That's true.
So a brand ambassador embodies whoever they're representing, or embodies themselves to push and to bring life to different brands and creations.
Right, or to that particular product.
Right.
So are you willing to collaborate with other agencies as far as on a particular campaign?
Sure.
Or, some people don't like to work with I'm not working with this agency for whatever reason. Or are you willing to collaborate with the right agency, I would say?
Sure, yeah.
How important is collaborations with you?
Collaboration is important because my motto for Better Every Opportunity is we're better together.
Okay.
I
like that.
I can't do it all by myself. You can't do it all by yourself. So
that's true.
Collaboration is really what we need more of on all levels of life. So what I tend to do if I have a project comes together, if I know who is doing podcast, you specialize in one thing, and I have a brand here. I'm going to merge all of us together. I'll be the face. I'll be the brand ambassador. I have the photographer here. I have the brand that needs the campaign. I have someone like you, and that's bringing all of us as creatives collabing.
Yeah, that's true. To create something special.
Right.
Right, and also to assist the client.
Right. You have a network of your audience. I have a network of my audience, and we're bringing all of that together and sharing it. Like, that's empowering. Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
How important is creating a legacy for you and your family? I don't know if you have a family, but, I mean, at the time, kids are your own or married or not. Right. But how important is creating a family legacy for you and your brand?
That's my main drive.
That's your motivation.
Yeah, that's my main, if not number one motivation right now, like creating a legacy and leaving something behind to represent my ancestors on top of, my future family, so I feel like that is more of a conversation that needs to be had, and even promoting that, like, what's your legacy? Like you're saying, what do you want to leave behind? What are you pushing towards? What
is your motivation? What motivates you to do what you do on a daily basis? Right. It has to be something deeper than just profit and of course, doing what you love to do.
Right.
So it's that deeper meaning, that's inside that you really think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's true. That's a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
What is your overall vision for your company? Is it to make Better Every Opportunity a major brand or agency with different departments? Just say, what would be your 5-year plan for the agency?
So, like I was saying, I want to bridge the gap between creatives and brands.
Right.
And implementing structure to not only build a legacy together, but to now have funding. Because that's one of the stepping stones and process that I have within my business model is to get you to the point where now you're getting funding by from banks, so we can go into different projects. If that's getting a space, if that's getting a warehouse, if that's getting property and going into different business ventures together. That's my main goal and what I'm doing now, building networks in different cities.
Okay.
I'm starting in Atlanta. I built the network in Chicago. I'm continuously building a network in New York to have, like, if we have our network in Atlanta, the goal is in the next year or two, we connecting with New York and Chicago.
Houston and wherever. Yeah.
Yeah. So
like
that's my framework now. Right. Building and bridging the gaps. That's
with networking and building collaborations in multiple states. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as your modeling, you have any new developments taking place? Any new projects, special projects you want to tell us about?
Yeah, so I'm
You're excited about. I know it's so many.
Yeah, I'm excited because I'm heading to New York Fashion Week next week. Okay. So
What's the date? What's the date for that?
It's the 8th to the 15th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and just walk us through. Tell us what's that process like. Once you get there in New York, who do you contact an agency, or you have a representative that you contact, or is
no, I'm representing myself.
Okay,
So that's why I was mentioning earlier the importance of following up and staying connected with whoever you crossing paths. So the last week, like 2 weeks now, I've been reaching out to every photographer, designer, show coordinators, and letting them know, like, hey, I'm going to be in New York February 3rd to the 15th. I would love to be a service to you. So now, this past week, everybody's been hitting me back, like, okay, yeah, come to the show this Saturday. Yeah, you could come Sunday. So so far now, I've booked 3 shows. I'm on a schedule now.
So
like,
how does that work as far as how do you get paid for the shows, or is that through each independent fashion designer, or just kind of walk us through that process for someone who might be new and might be interested?
Right. So like you were saying, at the beginning, you have to build a rapport. You have to build a name. You have to build a face and brand for yourself so that people know, okay, this is what you serious. This is what you really do. Right. And once you can show and prove, like, because your first show is probably be non-paid, but once you show like your professionalism, you punctual,
and your resume and your list of previous designers you work with,
then you can now what I suggest people do, like, you can give a contract to them, like, okay, hey, you know, we worked before, these are my rates for a show. And then you do have some paid shows where
is it like an hourly rate or a daily rate?
Yeah, it's just the rate for the show. And the past show I did last season, a lot of people don't know, you'll get paid like maybe, models get paid last, so you'll get paid like maybe a week or 2 after the show. It's not like,
I didn't know that. I thought it was
no.
No.
Models get paid like
after the show.
Actors do too. Actors do too. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else, any type of motivational tips you can leave a young woman who's aspiring to be in your steps, or to follow you in the modeling world, or just in business in general?
I would say
just give someone some type of motivation tip you can offer.
I would say just maintain. One thing that I've been, practicing now is like really going with the flow. What's for you is for you.
That's true.
Don't, because in the social media, it's so easy to compare, like, you want to compare yourself, or, and it kind of might drag you down as far as like, but I would say, really focus on yourself. Set goals, write them down, and don't be afraid to, like I said, reach out, because you can't do it by yourself. So, like, don't be afraid to reach out to other creatives and branching out and putting yourself out there. Like, don't think about what your friends or families or what's not cool. If you have a passion, if you have a vision, something that you really want to do it. Do it. Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, give them your contact information. How can people reach you?
So, my contact information, you can follow me on IG at my business page, Better Every Opportunity. It's all one, all together, better Every Opportunity. Okay. Or my email. Yeah. So.
What is your email?
My email is dgwarren28@gmail, but preferably through Instagram, Better Every Opportunity.
Send you a DM.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, that wraps it up, and we want to thank you for coming out. Being our special guest today to talk about the modeling agency, the modeling world, and also your new company.
Yeah.
And we wish you much success.
Thank you.
And want to thank you for coming out.
Appreciate it.
Y'all stay tuned for another episode of Streetpreneur Podcast. We'll be back with another episode. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe, yes.
Yes, definitely subscribe to Streetpreneur Network on YouTube, and we look forward to joining you again for another great episode. Thank you.
Thank you.